Your community, your music. Calon FM on 105 FM.
Joining me in the studio is Beth Thompson. She is heavily involved with this year's Rossett Village Festival. She is one of the many volunteers that the festival has, and I'm sure that without them it just wouldn't happen, or it would be very, very difficult indeed for it to happen. Beth, morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
I said you had a good weekend. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, I just hang out with one of my friends and
Yeah.
had fun.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good. Okay. How long have you been volunteering with the Rossett Village Festival?
About 3 years now, and each year I take on a more prominent role, helping as best as I can.
Good. Okay. So when you started about 3 years ago, what was the very first thing that you used to do?
I helped build the marquees and move the tables for the inside arena.
Somebody needs to do that, don't they?
Yeah.
If you didn't do that, it wouldn't happen. Okay. So every year, more of a role. So this year, what sort of things will you be doing?
I will be taking the pictures for the Rossett Village Festival Facebook and Twitter page, as well as putting up posters around Wrexham and the villages.
So at the moment, are there lots and lots? So if people wanted to find out about this year's festival, are there lots of posters in all sorts of different places around Rossett and, generally the Wrexham area?
Yeah, there's a lot in town, as well as Marford, Gresford, Wrexham, Pulford and Rossett.
And I suppose one of the most prominent places that you can sort of pop posters is in local libraries.
Haven't actually been to local libraries yet. I have been to some newsagents and just around in local notice boards.
So you're going to be busy this week.
Yeah.
In the run-up to the festival. Okay, you were telling me off air that it's not just Rossett Village Festival that you volunteer for here in Wrexham. Go on, other things that you do.
I volunteer at Wrexham Museum, as well as the Forget Me Not Cafe at the Salvation Army.
So, have you volunteered for, as long as you can remember?
Yeah, I've always liked doing volunteer work and helping out with communities. It's
good, isn't it? It's good. It's very, very rewarding. Okay, if people want to know more about this year's Rossett Village Festival, where can they find out more information, Beth?
It's the Facebook and Twitter pages that we keep regularly updated and have images and very regular updates.
Okay, so if people on Facebook, if they just search for what? For Rossett Village Festival?
Yeah, they'll find it.
Yeah, and the same on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay, so Beth, when is it?
It's on the 26th of August, which is this Saturday, 12:30 till 5.
Can you believe that we're nearly here again? I mean, after the last one, so at the end of last year's festival, I suppose you all have a break, and then more or less, do you have to then start thinking about, this year's festival?
Before then, we actually think about the Rossett Village Festival Christmas tree.
Okay.
With sort of the Christmas tree that's set near the park, and it's for the entire community, and then sort of we worry about the festival for the next year.
So as we speak now, there are people in Rossett who are thinking about the Christmas tree, the festival Christmas tree for this year.
Yeah, we mainly worry about it after the festival though, but before the next one.
Okay, so this Saturday, gates open from when?
12:30.
Okay, 12:30 the gates open, and what's the first thing on the agenda?
The arrival of the classic cars, or Tiger cars, which is just after the gates open.
Yeah, and tell us what happens. Do they all parade through the village?
Yeah, they go through the village and then they come into the arena and they go around quite a few times, so you get a good look at all of the cars, and then they go off into the field, which you can then visit them and look at them throughout the day.
Do you like that bit of the festival?
Yeah, it's fun, especially because I'm taking pictures. It's nice to look at, and everyone usually enjoys it.
Do you get some really, really good pictures of the cars as they go round?
Yeah, they're all really nice, and people put a lot of effort into making them look nice.
Yeah, good. Okay, so the classic cars start everything off. They will be parading through the village. How long are they? How long can people see them, Beth?
Well, they get there at 12:35, and usually they just parade round in the actual festival for about 5 minutes until they go off.
They'll parade from 12 until about 12. till about 12:35 for about 5 minutes. So that should be good. After the cars have paraded, Beth, what's next?
The show is opened by the mayor.
Okay, and lots of stalls. So tell us about some of the stalls and some of the things that people can see and do.
Well, we've got face painting, which is a classic, so those glitter tattoos. But we've also added glitter beards, which I think is quite fun. So that's fun to try. There are owls, which is always nice, and donkey rides. We've got a big red bus, sort of one of those London double-decker buses that go all around Rossett. We've got a balloon race for the Gabon Hospital, as well as several other charities that we're hoping to help with raising money for. There's Carrots the Clown. She's always really good. And there's also DIY sort of pottery and crafts, so you make it when you're there and have someone to help you, as well as a lot of food, like ice cream, burgers, pizza, or if you sort of want to take your weight off your feet, there's afternoon tea. And just a load of other things. Sounds
lovely, and I know because we were just talking before, another thing that's really popular and a bit of a classic, there's a dog show, isn't there?
Oh yeah, everyone loves the dog show.
Yeah, and in the dog show, tell us about some of the categories that you've got.
We've got the prettiest female dog, handsomest dog, cutest puppy, best rescue, waggiest tail, scruffiest dog, best smile / teeth, and best in show.
Great. Okay, so if you if you think that your dog has any of those qualities, or perhaps even all of them, get your dog down to the festival. We should mention as well the Rossett and Burton Horticultural Society, because they play a big part in it as well, don't they?
Yeah, it's always fun seeing them every year. We get along really well, and they take up the hall and run their annual show from there.
All in all then, a very, very busy day. If people want to come along, how much is it to get in?
It's £3 for adults, but if you're under 16, then you can get in completely free, and we have free parking.
Okay, free parking, under 16, you get in free, and £3 for adults. In terms of all the money raised from the festival, Beth, where does it go to?
The money goes to places like the Rossett Tennis Club, the Rossett Village Hall, the Darland High School Cycle Track, the Rossett Scout Group, the Rossett Army Cadets, and of course, previously mentioned, the Rossett Village Christmas Tree. So it all goes back into the local community.
It's good, isn't it? And I mean, that's really, that's what you want it to be all about, isn't it? Beth, we've mentioned volunteers. You are one of the volunteers. How many are there?
Quite a lot. We have the Rossett Army Cadets who are always helping out, and just local people within the village who want to help out, but of course we're always looking for more to help.
Yep, okay. So if you can volunteer, if you've got some spare time later on this week, then Beth and the team of volunteers who put the festival together would love to hear from you. So after the festival is over, tell us about your day. I imagine that on Friday and Saturday, do you start extremely early in the morning?
Yeah, about 7 o'clock to get the table set up on the Friday and get an idea of where everything's going to be and all the stalls are going to be, and that takes quite a while.
And then, obviously, on the day, still very, very busy, and hopefully, by then you can have a little wander around, see how it's all going, see everyone enjoying themselves. At the end of the festival, what happens then?
We make sure all the stalls are sort of sorted, they're happy, help them pack up, and afterwards we then remove all the tables, and of course the job of taking down all the marquees.
So your day finishes on Saturday at what time?
7 or 8, depends how well it goes, really.
I suppose you would rather stay a bit later on the Saturday night rather than, having to come back early on the Sunday and sort of take everything down again.
The Sunday's a day off for everyone.
Sounds good to me. In terms of stalls, are you full? Do you need any more, or are you sorted?
We're full. I've already mentioned some of them, but there are a lot more than that. Local businesses, charities, just whoever really we feel is reliable and helps the community.
Great. What time do the gates open again?
12:30.
12:30, and finishes around what time?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, okay. How much to get in?
It's £3 for adults, free for children, but with that you can look all around.
OK, £3 for adults, under 16, completely free. And I suppose the one thing that you would all love is a day of nice weather.
Yeah, we're hoping for it.
But, I mean, if the weather was a bit inclement, I suppose, there's lots of marquees and lots of things to do inside as well.
We have had it raining before and we just kept going. Everyone was sorted.
That's the spirit, isn't it? Just keep going even if the weather is a little bit on the iffy side, shall we say. OK, if people want to know more about this year's festival, Beth, where do they go?
We have the Facebook and Twitter page that's regularly kept up to date. OK,
so just search for Rossett Village Festival either on Facebook or on Twitter. Beth, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Hope you've enjoyed it. Will you come back next year?
Definitely.
And we can do it again.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Beth.
Your community, your music. Calon FM on 105 FM.